So we have drawn, well not we, me, I have drawn peg 16 on island. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest, but I think that's going to be in the 4 peg sections, because there's 2 3 peg sections on middle, and then there's 1 4 peg section, then 2 3 peg sections on island. So I'm guessing it's going to be 4 6. I'm guessing probably 14 and 16. That'd be my section. So up against the best peg in Europe. So I don't know. I haven't fished it for a while. 16 can be really good. It's definitely going to be on the edge of them, if nothing less. Anyway, let's get kitted up. So as always, not quite ready. Almost there. Just me being me, just kitting up too much kit. So I'm going to quickly feed my pole lines. So I'm just using seafood expander mix. It's going to cup in 2 balls long. Still going to be relatively positive. I just plan to leave it alone. There's a lot of silvers in Ireland, and with quite a few skimmers potentially being caught on a tough day, then that could be a good weight booster, because obviously no one really knows how it's going to fish today, because it could fish horrendous, because it's obviously flat calm, bright sunshine, and as you can see from the video, we have had a proper frost. So it's a bit of a throwaway line, really. I don't plan to feed pellets until probably about an hour into the match. So I have planned to feed pellets 40.5 meters at like a 10 o'clock angle. So this I've fed at 10 o'clock. Sorry, then I'm going to feed pellets at like 2 o'clock, about an hour in. Reason being is I don't want to feed bait that a fish might eat and obviously just disappear. And then I'm just going to cup a couple of balls in short at 5 meters. And I'm just going to loose feed maggots over the top. So I'm going to cup in the ground bait short, actually going to cup it in loose. So just added a bit more water. So I've made no balls, so it's just going to go in a nice cloud. Friendliest swans ever. Just got to get my pole out of the way so I don't damage it by when I chuck my lead. Don't want to end up hitting the pole sections or anything, because that could prove quite expensive. So all I've got on here is a lead and bread, basically. So I'm just going to fish 2 discs of 10mm bread on a quick stop. Nice thick, super toasty loaf. So that's going to swell up, nice and fresh. So that's going to stay on the hook. I'm just going to start about a rod length or so shorter of the island to start off with. Now this was a bit odd. I remember this. I couldn't get my line to tighten up, and I swear, I don't know if I chucked it on some reed or something, because there's obviously some maintenance has been done. There's a lot of like floating weed and stuff. So I don't know if I had a liner there or it was on top of the weed or something. So I was a bit frustrated with myself, because I figured, and it still could be, it might have been a fish. And obviously striking like that, going through the peg, you know, annoyingly that might have scared them off. So I chuck it again. Sink the line. And to be honest with you, it's all about waiting now. I've been lucky. So make sure you keep warm and be patient. So quite some time later, probably about just over the hour mark, I've finally caught a fish. I've changed from straight lead to a little pellet feeder. So just 2 mil micros in there and just fishing a pellet inside the feeder. That's it. Nothing fancy at all. Never got a bite on bread. No liners. Nothing. No liners on the meat neither, which was a little bit disappointing. It's funny, when I caught my first fish, a couple of minutes later, a guy on 12 caught one and a guy on 6 caught one. So first hour for all of us was very, very slow. Like, as far as I'm aware, no one caught on the lake. Yeah, it's carp, but I don't think it's a carposaurus. Could be an F word. skimmer. Skimmer. Yeah. Wow. Probably more like a bream. So from sort of 2 o'clock in the match till um, to 2:45, it was very. I had to think about the timing then. It was very, very quiet. I mean, I tried the pole. In retrospect, maybe I should have fed the lead line better and gone on it. I just, I don't know. After catching a few carp, it's a bit awkward one really because I've only had 5 carp and 2 F1s, which has gone £42, and then I've had 2 small F1s, a big bream, and then a few roach on the pole that's gone £8.12. So the fish against that island, them carp have been proper units. I've probably had a couple of 10 pounders. So you know, in this time of year, sometimes you might miss that window. So the bites have there've been no sort of pattern to it. To be honest with you, if I had a stopwatch, which I know some anglers love doing, and thinking that trying to find a pattern that don't leave it there no more than 12 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes. To be honest with you, I just chucked it and I just waited for the rod to go around. And that hasn't paid dividends maybe in the middle part of the match because I haven't really caught. So it's a bit of an awkward one really. Maybe chucking the lead, I might have caught a few more F1s, but then again I might have missed out on one of them big carp. So I'm not sure exactly what the answer is really. This is the dying stages of the match now. Funny enough, just had an F1. So the last sort of like quarter of an hour, well, it actually might be even 10 minutes of the match, I've decided to go back on the feed and hopefully try and catch another carp. And I've had an F1, and I think there's about 3 minutes left, and we got it on timer here because obviously of my GoPro, and it was 2 minutes and 31 seconds. I had to wait for a bite, so that's probably one of my quickest bites, to be honest with you. So yeah, decent size F1, yeah, and give me a proper bite. The carp bites, to be honest with you, were all like dropbacks, whereas the F1 bites tended to try and just rip the rod in. So people can't say that they didn't hear it. It's a decent one. Might look solid enough to me, but sometimes it can be like that. So just finished the Open, and I've been lucky enough to win it. I have lost a couple of fish, 2 fish, which was a bit frustrating, and lucky enough it didn't cost me. It was quite tight. I had £50, and then there was a 42 and then a 40. So you got to remember, some of these fish are like £10 a piece, so obviously, you know, if the person would have had another carp or another 2 carp, then obviously that would have beat me. So yeah, quite tight at the top. What have I learned? Well, probably a bit of a boring video to watch, really, to watch back. Just basically chuck the tip out and sit there and wait, you know, just chuck it tight against the island. My mate I spoke to last night, he said about casting real tight and just sitting there and waiting, and I've done that in the past. I used to do quite well on a big lead, and bomb and bag, basically a little white boilie, 8mm, popped up 4 inches, and sit there and wait for the rod to get ripped in. I tried popped up bread and meat, and that didn't work, and pellet was by far the best bait, to be honest with you. Caught a few silvers, had £8 silvers. Well, and that's not just strictly true, actually, because I had 2 small F1s in there, so I probably had about £6 of silvers, £6.5 of silvers. 1 great big bream, probably about 3.5, maybe £4, so a proper one. So that was obviously very welcome. Yeah, all in all, not too bad. Obviously it did fish hard, there's no denying that, and it did fish very hard in places, but hey, 16 people fishing, most people had a day's fishing, most people enjoyed it, so happy days, and I will catch you soon.